Hello, my name is Lincoln Easley, and I'm here in class FFT 104, and today we are going to field strip a Marlin 45 lever action rifle. So first things first, before you field strip a rifle, it's important to understand the schematics. I'm going to be strictly working off the schematics that I have right here in front of me for the field strip of this particular rifle. So before we do anything to this rifle, we got to make sure there's nothing obstructing the barrel. We got to make sure that the gun is unloaded. We got to do a safety check first. So first things first, point in the safe direction. We do a safety check, and we show that there's nothing in the chamber. Now to do a field strip, before we even do so, I'm going to check inside the barrel, make sure that there's all clear, and as you can tell, the barrel is completely clear. There's a light shining right through it. So the barrel is clear of any obstructions. Now we're going to go through, and I'm going to use a specialized screwdrivers sent by SDI. These are pretty awesome screwdrivers. And we're going to be doing the finger lever action lever screw. So we got to slowly pull these screws out. You got to be very careful that you don't scratch or ding anything up. We got to pull the screw out. So when I go and do this, I like to have it cocked open before I start, and I'm going to explain why here in a second. So now that I got the screw out, I'm going to turn it around. I'm going to get my block out and put my block underneath, because sometimes you have to tap the screws out. All right, there we go. Now we got the screw out. Now that we just got the screw out, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to actually pull out the finger lever out of it real slow. There we go. And now we got the finger lever pulled out. So the next step that we're going to pull out is the breech block. So we'll pull the breech block out real slow, make sure we pull it out. And a lot of times what I like to do is I like to take a rag and I like to wipe it down after I pull it out. It makes it easier for my hands, I don't get all grimy. And we'll put that inside our little tray. Now we have one more part we got to pull out, and that's the extractor. So I'm going to pull the extractor out, and there's the extractor. And I'll put that right in the tray. So now we just did a complete field strip of this firearm. And now that we just did the field strip of this firearm, pretty easy process. It's not real hard to do. A lot of these lever actions are very similar. I honestly believe these firearms are way ahead of their time. So now we got to reassemble the whole firearm. And I actually like to lubricate the firearm before I even reassemble anything, because I like to make sure everything is working good. So I like to re-lubricate everything, make sure it's all good to go, make sure it's all lubricated. And now it's all lubricated and we're ready to put it in, we can start getting things all good to go now and start reassembling the whole rifle as it was before. So the first step we're going to do is we're going to go backwards just like we did, and we're going to get the extractor. So the extractor is actually going to be on the knob down. So I'm going to go through and wipe that down really good. And we're going to put the extractor right back in. And the extractor is actually number 1 on the schematics. So it's good to have an idea of where all the numbers are and what they are. So if you ever had to order parts, they're there, they're available. So now we just put the extractor in the firearm. So right there's the extractor, it's all in, ready to go. Now for the next part, we're going to put the breech bolt in. The breech bolt is number 2. So it's not real hard to get in. It's a little bit tricky because you have to line it up just right, but once you get it in, it goes in really easy. So there, now we have the breech block put in. So once you get the breech block put in, the next step is getting the finger lever in. Now the finger lever is number 15 on the schematics. So to do this, I go real easy and I line up the screws. And what it is there's a little catch on the breech bolt with the lever that actually will allow it so I back and forth. So that way you're able to extract and insert new rounds in. So we line that up, and there we go. And that will actually allow you, so you actually see it catch a little bit. So it's right, that's how we know it's lined up. So what I like to do is we get the screw, and I slowly put the screw in, and then we can start reinserting the screw. So now we get the screw all put in, and it's ready to go. And that way, this thing is gonna run smooth. That way we know it's ready to go, because it's all lubricated, it's oiled, and I really believe it's good to lubricate when you go to put it in, because I like to have my guns running smooth and running good. So now we just had it put back in. I'm gonna run some additional lubrication on the breech block, and that way it's all good to go, it'll run good. I like to have it well lubricated, and there we go. Now it's running good. Now for the last check we're gonna do is we're gonna do a cycle check. And I have right here a dummy bullet. As you can see, it's a spent primer. I have an X on the bullet, and I have an X on the primer. This indicates to me that this is a dummy bullet. No matter how many times you pull the trigger, it will not fire. But all we're doing here is we're just doing a function check. So we're gonna load around and with the dummy bullet, and we're gonna extract, put it in. So that did really well. So that worked really well for putting in and out. And this is a field strip of a Marlin lever action .45 rifle. Thank you so much.